Hello, my name is Jesse Meeks, and I'm super excited to be auditioning in this video for the head of school position at Garfield School. And I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So I was born in sunny Southern California in San Diego, and I lived in California until I was in the middle of my ninth grade year, and we moved to Logan, Utah. I ended up graduating from Logan High School and had a terrific education experience. I was a little bit shy, I was a little bit quiet, but I loved doing a lot of things. I had a lot of friends. I played a lot of music. My favorite instrument was the trombone, and I continued playing that in jazz bands through college. I eventually married my wife, Ann Bunnell Meeks. She's a wonderful woman, and we have 4 kids. And I'll just tell you a little bit about Ann. She has her master's degree in education, and she teaches at an online school. And she also has a business where she helps students prepare for the ACT test. My 4 kids, they're in various positions in their life. My oldest is a political analyst in Washington, D.C., and his wife is working on a PhD at George Mason. And I have 2 at college, one in Utah State in Logan, and one at BYU in Provo, and another one who's working on various business ventures and doing all kinds of exciting things. But I love education. And the reason I love education is because I love students. And I believe each and every one of you, adults included, are geniuses and have the potential to accomplish amazing things. A little bit more about myself. My father is John Meeks. My mom is Florine Meeks. My mom passed away just a couple of years ago at the age of 88, and she was a beautiful and terrific woman, and I love her dearly. My father is now 91 years old, and he is the greatest. He was a lifetime educator, teacher, speaker, administrator, and he taught me so much about education. And I'll tell you a little bit about my educational philosophy in just a minute. But I want to share a story with you about Captain America. I was recently watching the video and it's always impressed me. I have Captain America socks that I wear when I want to feel powerful. But the reason I love Captain America is because he was strong and he was good. In the early life, the movie, it starts out with him as kind of a small, not a strong person as he felt in his mind, but he was committed. He was committed to the right things. He wanted to defend his country. He wanted to serve. He wanted to defend and the weak. And so ultimately, he gets spotted by talent, somebody who believes in him. And this doctor tells him of a way where he can get better. He proves himself through character, and then he gets injected with this cool serum that turns his body into this magnificent body. But before this happened, the doctor says something really important to him. He says, I don't want you to become the perfect soldier. I want you to become a good man. So when we who are in education look at our students, this is a governing philosophy that helps us get through the day and help to see you as students as the greatest you can be. We don't necessarily need you to become perfect. We don't have an expectation that you choose a certain course in your life, but we do want you to become great human beings. All right, let's get to know each other a little bit. bit more about me. You can see I chose to film this in front of a couple of my bookcases. I have about 7, 9 of these in the house. My wife and I are both avid readers, and we never seem to stop. I love the classics, and I use that term for not just old literature and such, but even new things that are coming out, thought leaders in the world and in the community, different religious leaders from many different parts of the world, things that really engage my mind and help me to become a better person. I love staying healthy and fit. I love doing things in the outdoors, whether it's camping or four wheeling or hiking with my wife. She's an amazing partner for all of those things. Playing pickleball and racquetball with my kids, they help to keep me young. I like to eat healthy food most of the time, not all the time, because we have to enjoy life just a little bit. But that's a little bit more about me. I'm a happy person. I like to think that I'm enthusiastic, and when people have an interaction around me, I want them to go away feeling better about themselves and better about life. Let's talk a little bit about leadership and my philosophy of leadership. Leadership begins, I'm going to have to say at the top, with vision. If we don't have a vision or a mission, then it's difficult for us to get any traction in a meaningful activity. So I believe that at Garfield School, our mission that is taught to us by our CEO, executive director, the board, is the thing that governs the way that the school is going to go. I want to talk about a leadership principle called the law of the lid. And I learned this from John Maxwell. He's a leader, a teacher of leaders, has published more books than any other leader in the world about leadership. But I love what he calls the law of the lid. And that is that where a leader is, say a leader is at a 5, that their leadership capacity is a 5, the institution that that leader works in can only go to a 4. In order for that institution to go higher, the leader has to go to a 6 or a 7, and then the institution and the people in it can go up to a 5 or a 6, but they never really get past the leader. So it's really important. And a school has multiple leaders, from the executive director, the business department, the director of inclusion, the head of the school. All of these people are leaders. And then when you think about a teacher in a classroom, wow, what a leadership opportunity, because they're an amazing leader. But let's remember the law of the lid. And that helps us to understand that we never stop progressing as a leader. We've never arrived. So it's important for us each day, each month, each year to get better and better so that the school can prosper more and more. And in the end, we can have this amazing teacher excellence and amazing student accomplishment so that our students could accomplish what they're supposed to do in the world. Remember the concept of, some people describe it as you, not them, that in order for us to be a leader, we have to walk the walk. If we're talking the talk, we have to walk the walk. That if we expect a student in a secondary school to read a classic and dive deeply into it and have a discussion, that we are reading it right along with them, that we're in the trenches being prepared, that we're not asking them to do anything that we're not doing as teachers and as leaders. All right, let's keep on it. Building community is so important for a school, and we don't want to get caught up in what I call bubble learning or bubble classroom, where we just stay as a teacher with a group of students in a classroom and never get out and do anything else. So I know at Garfield School, one of the things we emphasize is the idea of service learning, and that involves service not only in our own classrooms, but in the community. I picked up these balls. They're something that I have a lot of fun with. They're juggling balls, bean bags, and one Christmas many years ago, I received these as a gift, and I just love them. I taught myself how to juggle. I'm certainly not an expert, but it's a lot of fun. I can do two and three and a couple different methods. But when we're building a community, sometimes we have to juggle a lot of different stakeholders, including our faculty, our staff, our administration, and other leaders in the school. But even more importantly, are our parents and our students. So how do we work together to create that community? Let's get away from the idea of bubble learning and get our students out into the real world doing interesting things. It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to invite our parents in to watch what our students are doing and invite our parents with us when we go out in the community to do something meaningful, to give a speech, to have a night where the students display their learning, to talk about what they did, to prepare for a competition, and enjoy things like that and invite our parents along with us. I'm impressed with one of the missions of Garfield, and that is the concept of inclusion. And I want to quote Marcus Aurelius again, one of my favorite philosophers and leaders. And he says this. Remember, this isn't about 160, 170 AD, and he's an emperor and a warrior, but also a Stoic philosopher. All things are mutually intertwined, and the bond is holy, and there is hardly anything unconnected with any other thing. I love that thought when we talk about inclusion because at Garfield, it's one of our foundational beliefs, and that is students at all skill levels can be in a classroom together and accomplish beautiful things. I don't think we have to fear a gifted student or a student who's struggling to learn or somebody in between working together. They're intertwined, and there's so much beauty that can come out of that. One of the greatest arts of teaching is the art of being able to differentiate your classroom. And it's one of the most difficult skills that we as teachers have to learn. It's not easy to look at all of our students and where they are and figure out what the best thing is for them, but it's so meaningful. Gone is the day when we can take a class of 30 students and just teach them a set of material, test them, and then move on to the next set of material without them ever achieving any level of mastery or understanding. And to think that they could all do it at the same pace is a little bit unrealistic. So inclusion involves a teacher being able to differentiate in the classroom, a teacher who's able to say to one student, it looks like you have some mastery here. I want you to figure out how to teach one of your fellow students this concept and get them down the road a little bit further. We also want a teacher to be able to say to that student who finished something early to say, now here's your next level. Here's how you can show greater mastery. Here's the mentor I want you to work with. Here's the project that I want you to do. When these students start to do this and then involve each other in their projects, they're able to teach and learn from one another. Remember what I said about mission. We all have a mission, but in that mission, we want to include our fellow humans with us on that journey. And that creates more beauty because we're able to work together and love each other and serve each other more. It's been wonderful spending a few minutes with you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I feel just a little bit famous filming myself for posterity, but this is a grand adventure. I know you're looking for a new head of school, and I'm excited about the mission and vision that is at Garfield School. I have no doubt that you have put together an amazing team of administrators, of business people, of leaders, of faculty who are inspiring and great in their content area and great at teaching. of therapists who are able to help students take their lives to the next level. My feeling is if you're looking for a new head of school, that you're looking for somebody who has some fresh ideas and maybe a different perspective about something to share. So I look forward to meeting you all and putting our heads together to go to the next level at Garfield School. And then when we get there, to putting our heads and our minds together and finding the level after that. I don't think there's ever a time to stop and relax. But I don't see, with the vision that Garfield has, with the feeder school, the students coming from Elizabeth Academy and moving up, why we can't grow and be a greater strength and a greater presence in the community in the Salt Lake Valley and have an impact on education, to be a leader, to show how it can be done, and done with grace, done with beauty, done with success, and done with an organization that really shows the way. So I look forward to meeting you all, and I'll say, like I always say, go forth and conquer. Thank you.